Good afternoon. Hi, it's True Blue Thai here from Thailand. I'm here, and it's a Tuesday afternoon, about 2 o'clock. So I managed to get here before the 3 o'clock, with the 3 o'clock deadline. If you know my videos by now, for instance, I always seem to do the videos at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Not intentionally at all. But for instance, it's just what's happened. Now, I do apologise, for instance, if I haven't shown and done any videos, any of Manchester updates. It's not like, for instance, I was taking any time off. I did commentate about I did a few videos about the ladies game, for instance, who were unlucky against Chelsea. I don't think it was the 2-0 game against them, and I wanted to. So I've been watching that game, for instance, and following how the ladies have done. Definitely don't think the WSL is over for the ladies. Anyway, so for instance, and we will get back. Anyway, good afternoon, good afternoon. Must go down True Blue Thai, for instance. I live in Thailand. I've been here for about 3 years, just to give a quick introduction. In the United Kingdom, I've always been a blue. Yeah, all my life. Turned to go make on my face, and I look a bit tired. But no, for instance, and no, I've got a healthy lifestyle. Really, I've lost a lot of weight since I've been over here, about over 110 kilos. For instance, I used to have a really talking and Beach channel yesterday. For instance, I'm not really a texter. For instance, I like breasts as my really guy. I'm a for instance, breast myself. And football, for instance, they are the same, and unfortunately lost. People there think blah blah blah. 2024, for instance, people just doing it here. And if you come to Thailand, like if you walk down the area, the bar area, and you all will see is the girls. To be how are you? To my kitchen, down the road, and need kicks. Yeah. Anyway, go. Yeah, one of one. Anyway, so for instance, so I've got a few things to chat about. So, like, what I did is, for instance, let's explain. What happened? I did post a video. I did a video was about the game. Harry Kane was having a 9, and as it's in that come all the time. Those less numbers. Journalists, but they've got different ending now. The journalists, the British media, for instance, talking about the crisis at Manchester City, the crisis. Do you realise there's a crisis at Man City? I didn't realise there's a crisis at Man City, but it happens to be a crisis at Manchester City. So I do apologise because we had snow morning, for instance, in England at the moment. Going to and it's to be the temperature very very but ladies just insist having a all night direction please turn the off, and at 3 o'clock in the morning get the fan to so for instance sniffle anyway. What happened is I did a video, I uploaded it, what's it called, a bit of a rant on it, and then I was going about hurricane, the media, and for instance, and then he did upload to YouTube. Well, that got me. So the very next day, for instance, I did another video, and complete that video as well as the video, for instance, I was doing some editing and I deleted the video. So, yeah, I was just on just on references and rain came over. So I was like, "Oh, you're joking." So, for instance, I could have done it inside, but unfortunately, for instance, it goes incredibly dark and it's incredibly noisy, and all you heard would be like, as flashes of lightning and beautiful, absolutely lovely. I love it very much. You know, my lady, um, oh, look, wow, you know, 2 year old, like, woo. Fantastic stuff. They are, when it rains, it's wonderful to look at, and I love it. Unfortunately, my girl, and it was a running day, so, and then I started to talk about and bring you today. That's been okay. So let's get things started on the road. Show the road. Okay, just jump back a little bit. Okay, so for instance, we're going to talk about these things. What's it called? I'll just have a quick about. Uh, uh, for instance, there was a good game, a really good game. So Thailand, I haven't watched it, to tell the truth, but I did watch the highlights of this Portugal Croatian game. Even though Portugal already qualified, Croatia, for instance, got a yesterday and qualified. But yes, go, yeah, let's go out. Croatian, who's scored, allowed, and 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 wonderful, absolutely fantastic. So, he really, you know, from the cross. Really good. Big up him. And for instance, Croatia, for instance, um, for instance, who are doing well. And yeah, I see Bernardo Silva. I thought he went. For instance, I'm not sure he went. Um, what's it called? Then he stayed in the Geese side, which is good. No DS, for instance, but which I knew that anyway. Uh, yeah, Bernardo, my bad. So it was uh, um, uh, so good. So there was I saw on the media, the British, the city media, saying that Kovacic went off with an injury. Tyler, now water. For instance, uh, just half the play over there. I don't know how many we've got to go injured. We've got to come back. Appears that, for instance, we're getting the first time was now yesterday, for instance, and what's it called, witches, and I've always been in Huntington. That Pep's got a sign. 1 year, 1 year old. And the guy here in trueblue Thailand, etc., Blue Moon Thailand, the OSC, the Overseas Supporters Club, and Manchester City have been in Thailand trophy tour, Phillips and everything. So it was wonderful to see Shawnee and the Thailand with the trophy, and the guys had a thing, and yeah, and so that was great. So big up to City with the trophy tour. I love Joe Gone. Not much about it, but I need to be better. Anyway, so, but the guy, talking to the guys after, etc. So, but is that they're convinced and didn't send the post and on social media, and what like the uh, even the train with chief countries, even though say going to Brazil, I know for instance on City what's called it was he hasn't in contact, but the uh, uh, inside and not week. Yeah, but there was a they say it could be Christmas, Boxing Day or something like that just before. It was crazy. The media, British media crying about Mark Goldbridge, for instance, Gary Neville, for instance, all the other, all the rest of the etc. They'll be all having crying, having a meltdown, especially when we win the 1-1. But the, the, it, understand he's not signing, for instance, which does give me concern. Okay, now uh, you know, men getting old and over worrying, blah blah blah, and etc. But I need peace at the moment at City, and at the moment City don't have peace, and it's piecing me off because we don't have peace. These either APT 115 injuries, Pep Clark extensions, blah blah blah. You know, we're never out of the news. Okay, all right. And British media like to talk about us in everything. You know what I mean? Especially the slaggers. But at the moment, etc., we're not doing well. For instance, and yeah, and it's so. For instance, and having Pep sign that contract, etc., will be just one thing. You know, blah. So so Pep needs to just sign the contract. If you're not staying, please stay. You're not staying, and then we can start looking at you know, on the old Hartley believe he's going to sign. What's it called? But I would like to sign it too, but whatever, we'll see. But I just want him to sign, get it over and done with, and then we can focus on other things, you know, and especially the coming against, which I'll do a preview. Uh, and I live in Thailand, and so there was a headache, etc. I don't. You're on winter time. I don't have much thing, so also 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think what will be 6 a.m. But by the time I start talking to you guys, etc., you know, we don't have any. I don't. Uh, References. I'm just. So, what's it called? So, now, a quick chat about how would I like uh, uh, that Harry Kane, the British media, now at the player Gunk to go to the international break was surprised with a vast squad of players. All the way through the years. Why can't every game? Blah 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 blah. Now, blah blah blah. You've got players who can come in and do a good job. To which what happens? And the rest of the British media. Why? Having a, well, you might as well bring in guys who want to themselves. faster. The guy sat on the benches, Euros, you wanted them to come on, now could come on. What's it got and show what they've done? Now they've won 5-0 and what was it, 3-0, whatever, against Greece. What's the problem? Nothing. You okay? So rather than bring an unfit and if and I had in my rant, what's it called in the video which you never saw. But the fact is, if Jack Grealish would have started for against what's it called against Greece, and he didn't have a good game, there would be they would sport would have their usual evening chat show with his name Jason Curry and they would have sat there, for instance, and then you would have John Watford rang and said, "How do you complain about Jack Grealish? He did good today. He's finished. He's rubbish. He's crap. Blah blah." So and then suddenly Mark from Middlesbrough would go, "Yeah, let's go. Jack Grealish was rubbish." And then Jason Gunley would probably, "Yeah, he didn't have a good game today." And suddenly Jack Grealish was clearly playing, clearly over injury, clearly, for instance, out of shape. For instance, not on the level of Jack Grealish, and where he is at the moment. Regardless, even though he had a 20 40 training, he was clearly not. But if he'd have tried and had a gun and then had a go for England, he would have been slated by the people, for instance, British media say, "Oh, Grealish is blah blah blah." Okay, it was right not to take him to England. That, and that would have been absolutely 110%. Because, for instance, A is a City player, C for like Grealish, C for instance, blah, blah, and whatever. And rather than understanding his fitness levels, I think, at the moment, for instance, that's why. So we would have been used for it. So why him in the past? Okay, if Jack to him, so offensive would have done so, but he did. He's got like players now group themselves and get this game. Games under his since what's it called? Hopefully be fully fit and back up to that and for two. Okay, but why play him on a game, for instance, where you've got other players you can play? This is what drives me mad about the British press, not understanding. And the British fans out there, for instance, who don't like Jack Grealish, who don't like Man City, for instance, and talk about and Jake's names in the mud. That is what I would say in my rant. Well, I did say. Anyway, so moving on from crap. Anyway, yeah. Right now, uh, um, now, now, since that LB yesterday, for instance, it was something we touched on in my delete video. You know, that was here. No, it wasn't. But it appears that, for instance, West now this season actually a great player. It's gone off state loyal to Manchester City. Big deal and with out and he's looking forward to see Jason play. I think he has something. I think he's got a good qualities. He's not given the opportunity. And for instance, and I was when it's against England. One, England goals. So I think he was going to give a chance. We've been having a big with our field at the moment. Too low, average age of 80, blah blah blah. And for instance, Makiti make a goal to give opportunity. Nine else. Hello. Now that's with, for instance, um, West Ham, and now Fulham are here, are sniffing around Makiti. You know, sell him, or to what's it called, to either him or to you know sell him. Now I'm sorry, I think this would be if I'm not like anything than Palmer. Palmer was, for instance, Palmer, but I just believe, for instance, this guy can do a job for us. This guy needs chances. This guy, for instance, I think LB said, for instance, he played 1 minute for the Premier League in a position where I need players, you because of the in the midfield, we need speed, transition of ball, etc. For instance, and so our front is too slow in the midfield. And for instance, yes, we've got experienced players, but we've got aging players. But the thing is, is that why is Pep not playing him? I don't get. Why, for instance, why would it be open very small? Would be absolutely ludicrous. If Makachi, I'll be so upset with City because of I just don't see the point. What we've noticed now, what's go that we need a bigger, not a smaller. We need to players, not upset them. So to lose Makachi, any young player, for instance, in the January, what's it called, would be ludicrous beyond ludicrous. I don't care if you loan him out. I don't care if you buy players. I don't care. I don't care. You need to keep these and give them a chance to shine. Because today, for instance, we're on 40 feet at the moment. What could be better? Is he going to get a goal? No. You know, you need to keep these. Since you need to, for instance, for instance, who's got a knot, or for instance, not on uh, looking at other players, playing now, looking at for instance, uh, just saying that guys would be better in City squad. By for Palmer, there's some reports. One he left. Style given opportunities. There's a same offense, something which is it's not sitting well with me. But these young players play them. But young players, young players, why not we use the academy of the guys who and get it standing in England where they are? Why not play those and a mate of mine sent me a link of it on has been linked to it as well, which is stupid. So City, please do not sell anybody. Give these guys can do it for us. I feel so. You know, this through and through. For instance, they know the club, they know the style, they know the way. Give them a chance. For instance, my card. Could we do any worse? I don't think so. Right. Now that's with the outs. With the ins, for instance, at it's a talk about the field, how we spend, how we spend, who we're going to spend. This is the problem with a football fan because you're not in the club, sitting there listening to Tiki and blah, 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 and it's all just speculation. Just like the 1-1 is speculation, for instance. Um, so, because we don't, for instance, if City are going to spend, do we need to spend 1 billion% in January? 100%. If we don't, etc., again, I'll be desperate. I'll be thinking, what the hell? We got Bob coming back. I know we got what was it? The young lad from Argentina coming from play, for instance. He'll come to me. For instance, we got him. Also, we're getting a few back. For instance, from Italy. But it doesn't. But it still means we still have a very small squad. We still don't have a Rodri. And even though for instance, who's not the best start, getting a lot of autism both from City fans, and etc. We need somebody like Super Bendy, for instance, who will come in and do a fantastic job for us. So rather than paying 50, pay 60, pay 80, do whatever you can get him. Now, if Liverpool are still sniffing around, which Mark believes they are, Who's this little bit more support again? Okay. So, for instance, City need to go in from Supermendi. There is linked. We need to just put the money down, go for it. We need to act decisively in January, even before January. Do it now. Why wait till January? Send your interest right now. Get the guys over there and get the guy and get him on the plane. January 1. Okay, come on, City. We need to decisive action. And if you're not going to get Mendy, you need at least two players. At least two players. We need definitely what's it called, a backup striker for Haaland, playing Haaland, got his hat trick for Norway, for instance. For instance, and but every guy goes to the channel, we go, okay, because apart from Adeol, okay, and decorations, nobody's putting the ball on the back of the net. So, and Phil needs to step up, and Bernardo and KDB, for instance, needs to step up. So yeah, come on, guys. I don't want to make this too long, even though it's on for another hour, but I'm not going to do so. I know you're very busy, and yeah, on YouTube. Anyway, yeah, I did see that I linked with two other Ukrainians. Uh, right now, uh, Sukri, whatever, and a Martin uh, Tooney, Palatuna, whatever. I do apologise if I said the names wrong. It is good stuff. Yeah, way close for Dynamo, Zagreb, except 20. They were linked with City, and I heard anything. Score, but can't do rotation. For instance, give these guys young lads, but again, young in, bring in youth, and we've got on the bench. I don't get it. But and them. So, scored a big lot. Players, for instance, quiet. They did the said what we were saying is quiet. I because I Spanish since say uh, Man City are put in rail in the winter of winter discontent. They're taking Zubimendi. They were confident. Forget it right down. Did what's it called? But my deleted for instance, and was they said we were definitely linked with this guy. And, for instance, yeah, about the sound, my telephone. And I got to this go in the Premier League, which is just squad. Anyway, so let's what's it called? Stefan Bosen was on, for instance, on White and Jordan yesterday. For instance, I opened to me. Salmon, you know, you love it. All those and so I always talk about is either I in the world times just to say you more you did. We're going to about what was it called on? What do you call it? No, etc. For instance, on Sky's back pages tonight. Oh, he always wonderful. You're doing an amazing job. You know, great. Where have you heard this before? Honestly, just because. You know, Buriram United, Buriram. Thai team in the north Eastern. Anyway, so for instance, but no, Steph about the APE and Master Dick. Sorry, Dick Masters. APE on Friday. For instance, it appears that since they've just made a few little snips around the APT. For instance, and all the Premier League vote, all teams are going to be the Master is with the Rattel, for instance, they'll vote for the in. With City are saying, listen, hold on, because we have the judge, and if you're going to vote this in, it might be nil and void. So what is the goddamn point? Just wait. Just wait. To which Simon Jordan agreed. Side do you want, Simon? He was asked by White. Man City side of the Premier League. I just wait. Okay, so for instance, and yet it's absolutely ludicrous of the Premier League to go to put in this, for instance, what's it called, alteration home, etc. We just we'll get rid of that paragraph and we'll just add that one in and then present it back to the teacher. For instance, okay, is this okay? No, it's need to go away and do the but honestly, for instance, I just want to. I'm just loving it. For instance, when for instance, when Premier League is getting its comeuppance and the red card, okay, because they all for what's happened to the one for 115, but for instance, and they cannot beat us on the pitch, so they got off the pitch because they're not good enough on the pitch, so they got off the pitch. So they've got to try and group together and say how to beat Manchester. We'll do the 1-1-5, get pressurised the Premier League into 1-1-5, and absolutely one thing, and then we'll come up with all kinds of ludicrous media comments about the 1-1-5 and the consequences of Manchester City. And as this is the first time, and this once, one times over, as the first time ever, how can Kylie Sovakov from Sky Sports, or whoever, Mark Ogden, or Sam Lee, God knows all come out and say what's the worst case scenario? They don't know what the worst case scenario is. They're just speculating. They're just thinking Manchester City could get relegated. Manchester City. Who says? Who's come up with this stupid ideas that Manchester City could do this, and this, and this? Happened before. So if it's never happened before, for instance, how can you sit there and say, well, this is what's going to happen? Because it's never happened before. So, for instance, it's all, and so let's write it and stick it across the headlines. Let's back goldfish, etc. Whatever, slam it across these headlines. Man City relegated, Man City, blah, 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 whatever. It's never, ever, ever happened. Why come out and say it in this place? Chris, in worst case scenario. As far as I'm concerned, Man City got to get off Scott. Man's got to get like gas. Since and these 115 trumped up charges are just got to go. We'll probably get non-compliance if anything, which Stephen Boston said the same thing yesterday. So and whatever, and then the Premier League teams, Arsenal, Liverpool, United, whatever, and are now going to have beat Manchester. But other than that, yeah, well, that is and on FFP. Where are we at? Says Jim White. Where are we at? The FFP. We can stick across the thing. Manchester City and Stephen Boston says, "Well, gonna go 10 weeks. Nothing to see here. Nothing to say. Go away. Go away. Media. Go on, make some else up. You've nothing to see. I know it's the international break. I know friends have got nothing else to talk about apart from England and whatever and Scotland. Blah blah blah. Oh, the nominations. Nothing to see here. Nothing to slag off Manchester because there's nothing going on. You're gonna have to go back, come up with some other crappy headline, some source, sauce. So I love to know who these sources are. Come up with some. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, standing in Manchester City about the only. He must feel like a guy walking around with a lamb chop around his neck because so or whatever. I know not one representative of Manchester City. So win there, for instance, with a City fan, it must be it's like the Lions' den. Not it's, you know. For instance, it is really but we're getting that's what they're getting. So our offenses are more and getting more yeah, and not giving the respect to Man City from them. I don't want to give them too much airtime, even though I am. Let's go. But apart from that, so we've got Spurs coming up. They've just had I believe they've got a few injuries. Looks like our injury situation looks like it's to be improving. I did have the list. There was a final list. Finally, a list came out of who's injured and what they've got. So, for instance, and there was a few unknowns in there as well, which is trust me. Was he injured? Unknown. So yeah, Nunes, etc. For instance, he wasn't in the Portuguese squad because he was on. Yeah, but I believe, for instance, a good 90% of them are back. I think he was. Well, we shouldn't. We should be waiting for Manchester City to play the game. Fight, but 3 points against Buds. Against, yeah, 3 points. And for instance, the real pit. So, uh, Bentoncourt offences do being stupid. For instance, now got a 7 game ban. For instance, I believe that they've got a few other players, major players, injured. And for instance, I don't really worry too much about Spurs. Spurs against Spurs are Spursy. For instance, they're either going to be good or very bad. So, for instance, and quite honestly, for instance, I can't really see them doing anything. And Man City turn up a little bit. What's the goal? 80%, 90%, for instance, the way we normally play, for instance, we'll stuff them. But for instance, again, I just wish if we don't have the Diaz and Kanji and Guardiola and Guardiola or Walker or Lewis, for instance, in our defence, etc. For instance, a good defence, then I am concerned about the midfield, and we don't do something about the midfield. And KDB is not needs to start as well as Phil. So, for instance, and the guys need to basically just come on now. Need to can't have 5 defeats in a row, especially at the Etihad. No way, Jose. So, but I do believe we're going to win. So, for instance, I believe, for instance, if Roger turns up and gives the guys a pep talk, for instance, and come on, for instance, this is we're Manchester City. I still believe we can turn it around without a shadow of a doubt. Get us in within 5 points of Liverpool. I think Liverpool on relations at the moment doing well. I think. Do you know what the thing is about my Liverpool thing? And I'm going to talk about this again, for instance. I don't want to go on too much. But my thing about Liverpool is that Klopp is like was a drill master.